Happy Monday, everyone. I'm Stella Chung, and in today's fix, China puts strict limits on how long kids can play online video games. NetEase is apparently trying to poach the Yakuza creator from Sega, and we find out why the Halo Infinite campaign wasn't shown at Gamescom. In unexpected news, starting September 1st, video game companies like NetEase and Tencent will be required to limit online gaming to just 3 hours per week for minors. And full disclosure, Tencent licenses and operates our sister site IGN China from our parent company Ziff Davis. This is all according to new rules being put into place by Chinese regulators. As reported by Bloomberg, children under the age of 18 will only be allowed to game for 1 hour between the hours of 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Fridays through Sundays, as well as public holidays. These game companies are required to restrict online gaming to these hours and implement a real name verification system. These new regulations serve as a broad crackdown on China's tech giants in addition to combating game addiction in the country. These rules only limit online gaming and don't mention if non-online games will also be restricted. They also don't clarify whether or not console games and foreign titles will be required to comply with local regulations, or if these new rules apply to territories like Hong Kong. But it'll be interesting to see how this turns out for China's plans to combat game addiction. When I was growing up, I was only allowed to have 1 hour computer sessions, and, well, now I play video games for a living, so you can see how well that turned out for me. Speaking of Chinese gaming companies, NetEase is reportedly in final negotiations with Yakuza creator Toshihiro Nagoshi to hire him away from Sega. Nagoshi has been with Sega since 1989, but would be expected to build a new team and develop brand new games for NetEase if he transfers over. The final contract and details about his job role aren't confirmed yet, however. NetEase is turning into a gaming superpower in China thanks to mobile games like the Westward Journey series, Cyber Hunter, Identity V, and others, as well as its partnership with Activision Blizzard to run World of Warcraft, Overwatch, and StarCraft 2 in the country. Nagoshi has been with Sega since the early days of arcade games, with his first credit at the company being a designer on Virtua Racing. He then went on to produce and direct the Monkey Ball series before creating the Yakuza franchise. The sequel to the Yakuza spin-off, Judgment, called Lost Judgment, is coming up for release next month as well, so it'll be interesting to see if Nagoshi does jump ship and start to work with NetEase once that game has dropped. If you were watching Gamescom, then you may have noticed the absence of Halo Infinite, which is supposed to launch December 8th of this year. However, 343 Industries has seen and heard the disappointment over a lack of appearance, and Joseph Staten has checked in with a status update on the campaign, as reported by GameSpot. In the latest Inside Infinite news post, Staten said, "We're at a critical phase in the flight that is Halo." Staten went on to say that maximum effort was being put into the campaign and that gameplay demos and trailers take away from focusing on handling bugs and other tasks that would benefit the full game's release. Staten explained that he was in the middle of a campaign playthrough and said that no matter how many times he plays, it remains super fun, and that the 343 team is very eager to share gameplay, trailers, and other content once the game is ready. Halo Infinite's multiplayer and campaign will be released December 8th, and honestly, after having been able to play the multiplayer technical preview, I'm super excited to play again at launch. How would you feel about a time limit being put on young people gaming? Did you have any gaming restrictions when you were growing up? Also, are you excited to play Halo Infinite? Let us know. I'm Stella Chung, and now that you're all caught up on the news, check out our IGN main channel where you can catch up on any Gamescom coverage you may have missed. Download the IGN app for all of your mobile devices, subscribe to the Daily Fix on Snapchat, and for all things everything else, IGN.com.
Stop! Come on up!